Welcome to Old Folks Racing PC. Welcome to very late coverage of round 6. This is race 2 of round 6. Look at this amazing car, the Metalmoro AJR Nissan. It looks like a prototype, just slightly weirder. And we are here today at the Cascais circuit, which is really the Estoril circuit in Portugal. The alternate version, which is actually very close to the original version, with no chicane. Very weird chicane they put there, and this one doesn't have it. So we've got 14 drivers here: Chris Perry and Mark Elder. The aliens are on pole position, and on the first row, respectively, second row Diogo Silva and Wayne Lewis. Third row it's Jürgen Smets and Caval, and fourth row Darren Head and Mike Stevens. Fifth row Fred Bakker and Simon Allen. Sixth row Christian Clark and Jorge Luna. Seventh row, it's Stupidubi and David Good in 14th place. We have quite a lot of heavyweights of All Folks Racing PC here. It should be a good race. Let's see the start from pole position, man. Chris Perry. Chris Perry has had a good start. Let's oh, look at that. There's a lot of people already with a few problems on the start on board with Jürgen Smets as they approach the first corner. Everyone behaving nicely so far. A few people running wide there. And there's a potentially is there going to be a we already have problems there. We already have problems. That's Mike Stevens. No, that's Fred Bakker. I don't see who that is. I do apologize, but I couldn't quite catch who was in the grass. It's not Mike Stevens, it is Caval, and yes, it is Caval, and let's look at things from his perspective. As he is in 5th place, approaching the first corner, right behind Diogo Silva in that green car, and Darren had good start there, up into 6th place, everyone just locking up slightly, and Diogo Silva running wide, and Kev is coming back to the track now. He's a little bit of a late move there, and ends up losing a lot of time. Someone else has locked up big time there. That was Jorge Luna there in 13th place. Simon Allen is trying to go around Christian Clark. Look at David Good. Nice start there by David. Up into 10th place now. In the position to Christian Clark. Up to 9th is Stupidubi. That was a great start. 8th is Fred Bakker. 7th is Mike Stevens. And look at this. This is perhaps the... Well, do we have all the drivers here? No. Because look at Mark Elder up into the lead of the race, and Chris Perry actually has lost quite a lot of ground, so we will be forced to just have another replay of the start where we can see that and it was really side-by-side racing. Look at Chris Perry, he is in the lead of the race in turn 1. Mark Elder on the inside, cheeky there, but still fair. Chris Perry goes off the track, recovers, then contact again with Mark Elder, and then he has to let him through. And now here comes Wayne Lewis on the inside of turn 3 and up into 2nd place. Diogo Silva tries to do the same. Look at Darren Head there, nice start by Darren Head up into 5th place. As Diogo Silva has a good exit there from the VIP corner into the back straight. And he's still challenging Chris Perry on the inside now in the parabolic interior. This fast corner, fast left-hander. And let's go back to the race leader now, Mark Elder. We are still on the first lap of this race. Chris Perry, no, Wayne Lewis is in 2nd place. Let's try to have some views without the standings. In between, the standings are working, fortunately. And Mark Elder is going to complete the first lap of this race. And that's Mark Elder. Wayne Lewis, Chris Perry in 3rd place, 4th Diogo Silva, 5th Darren Head, 6th is Fred Bakker, 7th is looking Christian Clark, and the pressure from Mike Stevens. They have the same livery. Mike is on the inside of turn 1. It seems to me it's going to be job done. No, it isn't, because Christian Clark put some resistance there. Oh, he ran off the track as well. But Mike is now on the inside and he's going to go through. Let's go back to the chase camera. It seems to be. Oh, and contact there! Contact there! Contact there! That's Mike Stevens. He's turned around. Mike Stevens is turned around. We'll get the replay from Christian Clark's perspective. And I have a suspicion someone else was involved in there. Maybe it was Simon Allen. Look at this. Christian Clark gets out of turn one. Now he has to let him through. And it seems to me it's Simon Allen who did the trick there. Oh, and that was a little bit of a late move by Simon Allen. Oh, and Simon himself spins as well. So Simon himself spins. And so Simon Allen and Mike Stevens. And something major has happened to Stubby Dooby as well. So all sorts of things happening. We'll just get a quick rewind to see what happened here. Oh, and this was what... No, this was what happened. But this is the second part of the incident that he had already been... Oh, and someone else is in the gravel there, David Good as well, joining the gravel. No, it's not David Good, it's Jürgen Smets, Jürgen Smets, this is major. He's lost a lot of time. So if we go in reverse, Stubby Dooby sitting last, he seems to have made a couple of mistakes. Kev Allen, we saw him running wide in the first lap. Then this is Jürgen Smets into the barriers and into the gravel. Jorge Luna in 11th, David Good in 10th. Then is this is the replay of Mike Stevens and Simon Allen. And I think and Simon then, almost in sympathy, spins off, leaving a lot of debris, both of his wings on the track. And David Good is up into 8th place with all of these. Luna into 9th. Then a bunch of drivers. Jürgen Smets is up into 10th place despite hitting the barrier a few moments ago. And he is behind Luna and behind David Good. Then Christian Clark running on his own in 7th place. 6th is Fred Bakker. And we can see the top 3 there, followed by Joe Silva and Darren Head in 4th and 5th. Very, very interesting couple of laps to start this race. We follow Fred Bakker, who is in 6th place. Diogo Silva is trying to remain in touch with the top 3. Mark Elder continues to lead from Wayne Lewis. We'll keep an eye for other battles, and it seems to be one here as Jürgen Smets is definitely recovering. Jürgen Smets is recovering and is going to be potentially up into 9th place in turn 1. He's magically recovered. Oh, and someone has gone off there. That's Darren Head, Darren Head has gone off. Darren Head has gone off. And he has been into the gravel as well. Now, did he have any help, or was this just self-inflicted? Let's look at this from Fred Bakker's perspective. Oh, Darren Head is spinning, going round and round, and basically reset button. Yes, reset button, but he's losing a lot of time. There goes David Good, but not Jürgen Smets critically. Jürgen up into 9th after overtaking Luna, and now we've got this trio of very similar liveries in 7th, 8th and 9th. David Good, who started last, is up into 7th place by lap 3. That's impressive consistency by David there. We'll keep an eye for other battles throughout the field. Seems to me that the top 4 or the top 6 are very stable. The big battle is here for 7th place, because I suspect that both Jürgen Smets and Darren Head have slightly better pace, and here comes Jorge Luna and Kev Allen as well, and potentially Simon Allen. But let's look at this from the perspective of Jürgen Smets sitting in 9th place, lap 3. And we'll keep an eye on the battles in the top 6, although it seems to me that, look at this, look at this, this is nicely done there by Jürgen. No, not, it was Darren Head actually. Darren Head ahead of David Good. Now it is Jürgen Smets' time to make an attack into turn one. And can he do it? The answer is no, he can't. Cavallon is already up into 10th place. He's overtaking Jorge Luna. That was the battle here in turn one. Simon Allen is not far behind, and then we've got Mike Stevens and Stubby Dooby. Stubby Dooby is slightly losing time there as Mike Stevens is well, he's close to Simon Allen again. Someone is off there. Someone is off. That's David Good. Let's see what happened to David to see if he had any assistance or if he just lost it on his own. He is with Jürgen Smets behind. No, it was just on his own. As Cavallan goes up into 10th, into 9th, sorry, and Luna up into 10th place. David Good drops down to 11, and here comes Simon Allen and Mike Stevens as well. As the battle continues and David Good is rapidly going down the leaderboard quite considerably. He is now in 12th, and Mike Stevens probably has an idea to get that 12th place from David. Let's see how this battle is going to pan out, and then we'll go through the field. As Mark Elder has around a second gap over Wayne Lewis, and then it is Chris Parry is coming very close to Wayne. Keep an eye on that battle. Someone must have made a mistake there. That was, I think Luna had a slow exit, and potentially Simon Allen is in the mix. Not yet. Let's see how things are in between David Good and Mike Stevens. We'll follow this battle for some time, and then we'll certainly... Oh, here comes Mike Stevens on the inside. Didn't quite work there. David Good gave it room, as now Simon Allen is getting very close to Jorge Luna as well. Simon Allen very close to Luna. Let's go through the field now on lap 5. And this is the leader, Mark Elder. What a surprise, he's leading again. But look at the top 3, they're not that far away from each other. Wayne Lewis in 2nd. And Chris Parry in 3rd. Diogo Silva in 4th, already a couple of seconds behind the top 3. Let's look at the top 3 in turn 1. And didn't quite work there for Chris Parry on Wayne Lewis. 4th is Diogo Silva, 5th is Fred Bakker, 6th is Christian Clark. And Christian getting here through turn 2. And now through turn 3, and we can see, no, we cannot see Darren Head. Darren Head is 5 seconds down the road, really. Darren Head in 7th place. 8th is now Jürgen Smets. Jürgen Smets and David Good has dropped back quite considerably to 14th. So Darren Head is up into 7th, followed by Jürgen Smets. 9th is Cavallan, 10th is Simon Allen. Simon Allen also overtook Jorge Luna. Jorge Luna up into 11th, and Mike Stevens is in 12th. Stubby Dooby is in 13th, and David Good is in 14th and last. Lap 6 as we approach the midpoint of this race. And something happened to Christian Clark. Something happened to Christian Clark as he is no longer in 6th place. We will have a replay of what happened. It seems to me he has been in the gravel. Let's go trackside and see it from the trackside. Oh, he just unbraked himself. And the gravel traps in Automobilista 2 are reasonably well modeled, so you do lose quite a lot of time. And in this case, Christian Clark lost 3 positions. Up to 6th is Darren Head, up to 7th is Jürgen Smets. And up to 8 is Kev Allen, and now Christian Clark has to defend from Simon Allen. Let's look at the top 3 in turn 1. Mark Elder, that number 21, continues to lead the race on lap 7, followed by Wayne Lewis, followed by Chris Perry, followed by Diogo Silva in 4th. Diogo Silva already a couple of seconds back from this trio of drivers. As we are reaching the midpoint of this race, we should have 14 laps and are on lap 7 now. Then it's Fred Vacker now truly running on his own. He is 3.5 seconds uh, down the road from Diogo Silva, but he's got quite a substantial headroom over Darren Heads. That's 12 seconds because, as you remember, Darren, he has spun in turn 1 on his own. Jürgen Smets has spun before the parabolic and hit the barrier. Cavallan has been in the gravel in lap 1 in turn 2. Christian Clark, we just saw him off the roads. Well, more or less here a lap ago. Simon Allen is off. Simon Allen is off again. This was perfect timing. As he, how did this happen? I think he just accelerated a little bit too hard in the parabolic interior. Yes, he's already out of shape, and bang! He hits the wall. Does he lose 10th place? And the answer is yes, he loses 10th place and 11th. And in this group, Jorge Luna is probably the only driver where we haven't seen a major off. Now we see now a major off as he spins. So Simon Allen goes back into 11th place. Stubby Dooby up into 12th. And David Good potentially is going to go back into 13th. The answer is no. Let's go back to the race leads as we are past the midpoint of this race now. And the top 3 are getting very, very close indeed. As we get this aerial shot as Wayne Lewis, not the ideal line there through the VIP corner, and Wayne could be under pressure from Chris Perry here in the parabolic interior potential. Let's have the aerial view again as Chris Perry is coming for 2nd place. We'll keep an eye on other battles, and these drivers are progressively checking out of Diogo Silva. Diogo now 3 seconds back. He's on the 126s, lapping on the 126s, and the top 3 are lapping on 125s. So definitely Diogo not holding the pace that is necessary to potentially challenge for a top 3 in this race. As now let's look at the parabolic, the long, very long corner that leads to the start-finish line, and let's see how Chris Perry is positioning himself to maybe make a move into turn 1. Can he do it? He seems to be a little bit too far behind. And yes, he is too far behind now on lap 9. Diogo Silva is trying to hold on to these drivers, but not managing to do so. Fred Bakker and Diogo Silva are lapping more or less the same lap times. Darren Head is also lapping the same lap at 126. Middle 126 is now locking up in turn 1, followed by Jürgen Smets, but still a second and a half between the two drivers. Cavallan is in 8th place, and Christian Clark has had another problem because he's lost quite a lot of time. We haven't seen what happened to Christian, so we'll just rewind a little bit to see if we can realistically see what happened in the previous lap, or if this is coming from a long way back. And it seems to me that he was closer to Cavallan, and it was during this lap that he lost a lot of time. Oh, and this was the reason he does a full 360 in turn 1 and does not lose the position. Almost lose the position, but not quite, as now he's in 9th. Same position as he was before, but clearly much further back from Cavallan. And really with Mike Stevens and Simon Allen very close to him. Let's go on board with, let's go trackside with Christian Clark and look at visually at that guy. Ooh, you almost lose it again. That number 80 is not very well balanced in the hands of Christian Clark. Oh, and the Mike Stevens completely misses the apex there in the parabolic interior and gives Christian a bit of breathing space as Simon Allen is now coming back into the mix, into this battle for ninth place. Now, another thing that is happening right now is that Mark Elder is checking out from everyone as he is leading now with 1.9 seconds. That's the biggest gap we have seen in a while as Chris Parry continues to uh, potentially attack Wayne Lewis. So Diogo Silva actually hasn't dropped back that much from Chris Parry. I think what has happened is that everyone has dropped back from Mark Elder because these three are more or less where they were a few laps ago with Wayne Lewis in second under severe pressure now from Chris Parry and Diogo Silva a couple of seconds back. But Diogo still in the mix potentially for a podium. It's just that no one is in the mix for the lead of the race. As it stands, Mark Elder has 2 seconds for the first time. We see the gap above 2 seconds and a little bit. And let's look at the lap times now, as I think what has happened is that as Chris Parry and Wayne Lewis are battling, they end up losing a few crucial tenths there, here and there, and drop back into the 127s as the leader is on the 126s. Now let's look at the lap times: 126.272 Mark Elder, 126.377, 126.368 for Wayne Lewis and Chris Parry respectively. But this is what I meant, you saw them there. Wayne Lewis had to momentarily defend from Chris Parry, but nice battle here. Let's look out for other battles as sixth place man Darren Head is still ahead of Jürgen Smets and also Kev Allen. And Christian Clark is still ahead of Mike Stevens and also Simon Allen. Simon Allen not having the greatest race here. Then is Stubby Dooby in 12th. Luna has dropped back to 13th and is starting to be under pressure from David Good, so we might have a battle for 13th. This is again Old Folks Racing PC battles through the field, as the most promising battle at the front is definitely Chris Parry with a late challenge for second place. Oh, Chris Parry now loses it there in the S's. Did he lose it big time or just a little bit? And the answer is he's just lost it a little bit. Another lap is complete. That's completion of lap 10 now. Chris Parry has dropped back a little bit from Wayne Lewis. Diogo Silva is now actually losing time. He is done at 126.239, which is not a bad time, but still slower than most people ahead of him. Fifth is Fred Bakker, and everyone now on the 126. Darren Head is the only one on the 127. No, he's done a 126.9 now. 126.9 is off for Jürgen Smets. 126.5 for Kev Allen. And look at that, pretty much everyone on the 126s or 127s. And something has happened at the back, so we definitely feel compelled because Simon Allen and both Simon Allen and Luna have dropped back to 13th and 14th. So we will rewind a little bit to figure out what has happened at the back. Oh, it seems that Luna has already had a problem. As Stubby Dooby is up into 11th. This is Luna now losing it, trying to drift through that corner. But Simon's situation has happened a while back because he in fact was, and this has been a substantial off. And quite an interesting one to the extent that his boot will open. Now he's in the grass and he tries to rejoin and bang! And he opens the boot to put his helmet and lose a bit of time. There you go, automatic boot in this Metalmoro, the pinnacle of the Brazilian motorsports industry, and Simon Allen is in 14th. 13th is David Good, now up to 12 because Luna has had a problem in the parabolic interior. Up to 11th is Stupid Ubi. And now 10th on his own is Mike Stevens that does not, he is not yet very close to Christian Clark in 9th. Christian now running on his own. And then is the group that we were seeing before. Kev Allen in 8th place. 7th is Jürgen Smets. And 6th is Darren Head. Let's go back to the race leader. Or better said, let's go back to second place man Wayne Lewis, because Chris Perry is coming back at him. We are in the closing stages of this race. As lap 11 is about to get complete. Lap 11 about to be complete. Mark Elder is going to win this race as it stands. And Wayne Lewis is again defending from Chris Perry on only a few laps to go here. So I wonder how aggressive Chris is going to be now. In these late stages, we'll keep an eye for other battles through the field. And potentially there's a battle for last between Luna and David Good. We'll keep an eye on that battle. Second, separating the two drivers. Then the closest battle is that one between Darren Head, Jürgen Smets, and Kev Allen, but they're still separated by a couple of seconds. Fred Bakker running on his own, Diogo Silva running on his own, and then it's the top 3. So keep an eye on this battle here, because Chris Perry is again getting closer to Wayne Lewis. And look at Wayne Lewis, he has not lost touch with Mark Elder. Quite the opposite, the gap was 2 seconds a while ago. Now it's down to 1.4, 1.3, 1.2. So maybe Wayne Lewis with a late challenge there for the win of this race. And we estimate 14 laps here, so they're going to enter the penultimate lap very, very shortly indeed. Look at the battle for 6th place, seems to be a bit more active now, because Jürgen Smets has definitely recovered some ground. So keep an eye on this battle as well in the last couple of laps. Battle for 6th place, Darren Head not having the weekend that he wanted, not his favorite combo of car and track. As now can Jürgen Smets get any closer to Darren Head? Let's go on board with Jürgen. And Darren already going defensive, but probably no need for that as Jürgen is too far behind. Let's go on board now with Chris Perry. This is the penultimate lap, and now the gap is under a second. What is Mark Elder doing? Is it just managing the gap? Doesn't look like it, because he's now under serious attack from Wayne Lewis, with Chris Perry still in the mix, and then Diogo Silva already 3 seconds behind these drivers. So it's a 3-way battle for the win here at Cascais, the Estoril circuit, with no chicane, with this amazing Brazilian prototype car. But Chris Perry is running out of time here. Realistically, he only has a couple more chances, and the biggest one is coming, which is right here. He needs a good exit out of the Parabolica in order to try to attack into turn 1 for the last time they go into turn 1. He seems to be very close to Wayne Lewis, and this is going to be it potentially. Chris Perry, can he do a move on Wayne Lewis into turn 1? The answer is no. Now, where can Chris realistically target again? Probably on turn 3. Now, can he stay close through this turn 2? Yes, he can now. He's coming for it. Yes. Wayne Lewis, is he going to give him room? No, almost contact. There has been contact. But Chris Perry now realistically only has one more chance. And he's got to have a good exit here. No, he's not. He does not have a good exit. And he's lost it. Where is Diogo Silva? Here comes Diogo Silva. for third place. Can you do it? He is very close now to Chris Perry, but not quite close enough. Only a few more corners to go, and Chris Perry, he needed a good exit from that VIP corner into the back straight, but he did not have a good exit. He went through the gravel, and now it's going to be Mark Elder from Wayne Lewis. I think only a few more corners to go, unless Wayne Lewis can do something spectacular. Mark Elder is going to win this race. What has happened to Christian Clark? I'm sorry, we have to rewind here because Christian Clark has lost quite a lot of ground, and so has Mike Stevens. So I'm not sure if they got together, but we do have a duty to figure out what on earth happened here because they were running not far behind one another. And oh, and I suspect, well. No, is this Christian Clark losing it again in the same corner? Oh my, it is Christian Clark. And Mike Stevens is... Oh, Mike Stevens! They did have contact! They did have contact, but this was after... Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Mike Stevens nowhere to go. Could he have gone anywhere? Oh, this is the reset button. Oh, and nowhere to go, Mike Stevens. And this is why some series do not allow use of the reset button, because Mike could do absolutely nothing. I mean, nothing against Christian using the reset button, as it is allowed in Old Folks Racing. But this is what happens. The car just went back into the racing line, and Christian Clark, Max Stevens nowhere to go. Net, look at Stupid Doobie. He has not had the fastest pace, but he has had amazing consistency, and he's in 9th place ahead of very quick drivers there, including Simon Allen, race winner in Old Fox Racing, both in PC and PlayStation. Christian Clark, also very quick. Mike Stevens, multiple race winner. And also David Good and Jorge Luna. And this shows that consistency is the name of the game. And oh no! He's done the first mistake in the last lap and lost it. Now he's still in 11th as Christian Clark is trying to go around. Oh, and by the way, Mark Elder. No, this is the last lap. This is the replay. So let's go back to Mike Stevens and Christian Clark and Simon Allen. We have followed the last lap of the leaders already. We know what happened with Chris Perry, but this is quite an interesting battle here between 9th and 10th. That, of course, in the Labareda channel, we cover everyone in the race, not just the leaders. We pretty much cover wherever there is action. We are there to cover it. And now, last lap for the leaders, and you can see that Chris Perry is going to lose time. Yes, he's already lost time. And we'll go back to the race leaders in a moment. But Simon Allen and Christian Clark, we'll keep an eye on that battle on the last lap. Now, this is a few more corners to go for Mark Elder and Wayne Lewis. They are first and second in this race, and they are going to win. Well, Mark Elder is going to win. Wayne Lewis with an excellent second place, not far behind. It's going to be under a second in the end. The checkered flag is in the air. Mark Elder has won from Wayne Lewis. Chris Perry still retains third from Diogo Silva. Then it is Fred Bakker in 5th place. Diogo Silva 4th, of course. 6th is Darren Head. And Jurgen Smith may still try something, but I think it's a bit too late now. Darren Head is going to be in... oh, look at Jurgen there, running wide in the last corner. Darren Head 6th, 7th, Jurgen Smith. 8th is going to be Kev Allen. And this is the battle for 9th place. A few more corners to go. And Christian Clark is still in 10th, chasing Simon Allen in 9th place. And I think that's probably how it's going to end, because there's literally one more corner to go. Yes, Simon Allen is going to finish in ninth place. Christian Clark in 10th. Scooby Dooby is going to finish in 11th. 12th is going to be Mike Stevens. Disappointment there for Mike. Multiple incidents in this race. 13th is going to be David Good. And look at Jorge Luna. He is not far behind, but he is going to finish in 14th spot. What a race this was! Excellent racing here at Estoril. And this completes the coverage from round 6, race 2 of All Fox Racing PC. We hope to see you again on track and on these replays. Until then, it's bye bye.